It's on.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome. So for those that don't know me online and those in person, my name is Reverend Lee Alvarado. So glad that you have joined us this evening. Welcome to those online. So glad that you are here with us. So just want to say a little bit about who we are. We gather together to express love, to practice radical acceptance and inclusion, and to connect with one another and with spirit. That is who we are. We're a powerful spiritual community, lovingly committed to a world of acceptance, compassion, peace, and joy. Our practitioner on platform with me this evening is Lonnie Hickman, and you're going to hear from her in a little bit. She's going to do an opening prayer and a meditation for us. So settle back and go within as we begin our service this evening.
Hey guys, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Yeah, man. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. So, this soul that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No. This soul that I have, the world didn't give it to me. It didn't give it to me. This soul that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away.
Well, now that we're all juiced up, let's pray. Take a minute with me to breathe in and allow yourself to become calm, quiet. As we turn our energy within, I invite you just to feel an amazing sense of appreciation for this beautiful summer day, for the warmth, for the rain, for the green, for the blooming. And as we allow ourselves to feel appreciation for right where we are, right here and right now, in this beautiful time and space, we let that appreciation take us within to the quiet place where we feel and know the presence and power of God. There is only one presence. There is only one power. There is only one light, one love, one spirit, and we come together tonight in that spirit as one community of like minds, one community of open hearts, one community of loving being. And so as I affirm that for this beautiful New Thought Northern Colorado, I know that we are each here tonight, open and receptive to exactly that which is ours to receive. I give thanks that Reverend Leah's message is a message of light and truth, and hope and peace and love and joy, and that it speaks to each one exactly as it needs. I give thanks for our musicians who bring the joy and the energy and the spirit of our music to this gathering, lifting us up into awareness of light and joy. And I give thanks for all those who help to make this service possible, that help to reach out to all online who are joining us, and to each person who is here with us in this place. I know that we are here by divine appointment, and all things are unfolding for the highest and the best that is to be. And so it is. And in this place of knowing, let's move now to that quiet place of meditation, where we gently focus on our breath, and we allow our breath to carry us within, breathing in and breathing out. I simply let go and allow, and my breath gently and easily takes me to that place where I feel and know the divine presence that I am. With every breath I take, I allow my mind and my thoughts to relax. And with every breath I take, I invite my heart to open to spirit, to the richness and fullness of God within me. To the light of truth that brings me into clarity and understanding. And into unconditional divine love that allows me to feel one with all of life, with all people, with all the wholeness of being. I allow that inner part of me now to open fully and completely to the living, loving, healing, harmonizing presence of the divine. And I know that this is the very nature of who I am. I am light. I am light. I am holy holiness. I am peace. And as I deeply feel and know this truth, I know that I am joy. And now gently and easily we allow our attention to rest again upon your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And with every breath, we anchor deep into every aspect of our being, this knowing, this beingness, this realization of the divine I am. And as we bring our attention back in time and space to this room, to this service, we allow gratitude to wash over us and through us and all around us, knowing that our hearts are open and divine light shines. And coming back into full awareness and conscious presence, we simply know that this is the truth, and so it is. Amen.
This is the camera. the beloved, see the beloved looking back at me. When I stand next to you, I can feel the beloved, feel the beloved in you. You are in my soul, you are my inspiration. With you in my heart, I'm never alone, we are one. There is no separation when I rest in you. I'm home. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved, feel the beloved touching me. When I open my heart, I open to the beloved, to the beloved in you. You are my soul, you are my inspiration. With you in my heart, never alone, we are one. There is no separation when I rest in you. I'm home. When I touch your heart, I feel the beloved, feel the beloved touching me. When I open my heart, I open to the beloved, to the beloved in you. Beloved, beloved in you. 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 Beloved in you.
Beautiful. Thank you both for your souls and your talent and your just amazing. Thank you. So hello again. Hello. So we're gonna start by harmonizing our hearts and our minds. And if you are new to this, just receive. Some feedback here. So just receive. We're gonna start by taking some deep breaths, placing our hands on our hearts. And let's say together, care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. All right, so the theme for this month, we're talking about the body, the physical body. Some of you might be thinking, maybe I didn't want to come tonight. So trust me, just hang in there. I'm knowing that you're going to walk away with something great, something perhaps maybe shift a perception that you have about your own body or the bodies of others, or perhaps be willing to develop a new relationship with your body. So the topic tonight is loving your body, and then next week we're going to talk about the body as a temple. If you've been following the CSL journal, I switched the order of those topics because in my opinion, we can't talk about the body as a temple before we make peace with our bodies. Yes? It makes sense? Makes sense to me. All right. So, as humans, I'll just say as humans, okay? In the United States, we tend to be pretty uncomfortable with our bodies. Yeah, like when we're taking a shower, we want to get in and out, get some clothes on without having to look at ourselves in the mirror. Anybody relate to that? Is it just me? I'm like, okay. So if you identify as a human being, chances are you've got some issues with your body. We all do. We all have them. And we complain about maybe the things that we used to be able to do that we can't do anymore. We complain that we have a little more little squishy stuff here or a little squishy stuff back here, maybe more than we used to. We complain about the pains in our bodies. We complain that we're not tall enough, or we're not short enough, or we're not in shape enough, or strong enough, or all of those things. We do this and these thoughts come so quickly, we're not even aware of how fast those thoughts come and go in our minds. As I was writing this, I was thinking about myself and the issues that I have, of course, because these talks aren't just for all of you, they're for me as well. And my biggest issue, crepey skin. If you're under 40, you probably don't even know what that is. But crepey skin, like really? Yeah. So, and we can be not just critical about ourselves, but critical about other people. And something to keep in mind and to remember is that whatever we can't tolerate in somebody else, it's always about us, right? Whatever we can't tolerate in someone else, it just means it's something we can't tolerate within ourselves. Most of us grew up with Barbie. Yeah, the thin, blonde, blue-eyed, her toes were like this. I don't know why they were designed that way. And then Ken was this tall, dark, and handsome fella. Yeah, so, thanks to Barbie, the image of Barbie, as well as ads and covers of magazines, we all got this impression that we have to look a certain way in order to be accepted. And, in 2016, Mattel actually updated Barbie, for those that don't know. I think this is the coolest thing. They updated Barbie's look. Barbie now comes in a variety of shapes and sizes and hairstyles and textures and skin tones. There's even a curvy Barbie. She's got a little tummy and a little more back here. And hallelujah, right? Because it's now representative of the general population. So I think that's a really, really cool thing that they did that. So when do our body issues show up? They tend to show up when we're in elementary school. That's when kids start to tease. I suspect all of us in here have been teased by some kid when we were little. Teased about something related to our appearance. Can you all relate to that? We've all been teased. Yeah. I was teased for my big T. But here's an interesting thing. My dad, he also teased me. He would tell this story that when I was born, when my head came out, the doctor looked at my head and looked at my ears and said, the ears are so big and they stick out, it must be a boy. It's a boy. Now, why did they think that in the late 60s? I don't know. Just because my ears stuck out? So my dad would tell that story, like his whole life, the whole time before his death, up until he was in his 80s or so, he would tell that story over and over again. And he said to me, when you were little, from the back of your head, you looked like a Volkswagen with the doors open.
Oh my God.
What an awful thing to say to your child. So, my dad meant well. His teasing, he's a good guy. I'm going to talk about him on Father's Day in a few weeks. His teasing was his way of telling me he loved me. I didn't quite get that at the time, but I get that now. But, how that impacted me, another thing he did is he was big on weight. So the moment I would gain the slightest bit of weight, he'd say to me, "You're getting fat, kid. You're getting fat." So how that impacted me as I got older is I was really focused on my weight, and I wore my hair down. I never wore it up my whole teenage years and into my 20s. When I was 28, I had surgery. I had surgery to pull my ears back. Yeah. And as I got older and a bit wiser and focused on loving myself, I wished I could go back to that 28-year-old and tell her that you don't need to change anything about yourself in order to be loved. But how many of us grew up with parents that taught us that? Chances are nobody's sitting in this room or anybody online. If my dad knew how to do that, he could have done it for himself, he could have done it for me, but he didn't. He didn't know. He didn't know. But we have the power to choose to do that for ourselves right now. No matter what age we are, we can do that now. The body image that our culture has changed in the last 10 years or so, maybe 15. And it's not to say that people don't still have image issues, body image issues, and it's not to say that the media doesn't still have a lot of work to do. But the body image in our culture has needed to change for a long time. And there were people that stood up and said, enough is enough. This is not okay. What represents beauty, the image that represents beauty, is very limiting in our culture. As a result of that, we now have curvy Barbie. We now have plus-size models in magazines and in ads. But here's the most exciting thing. People across the world are coming out, and they're saying, this is who I am. They're celebrating all aspects of themselves, whether it's related to gender identity or sexual expression, sexual orientation, all of it. They're saying, I am no longer going to apologize for who I am. This is me. I think that is one of the most beautiful things that is happening, and we have all witnessed that over the last 10 or plus so years. Yeah? On February 9th, 2011, activist Sonia Renee Taylor shared a Facebook selfie of herself at 230 pounds. She wore a black corset, and she took the selfie smiling, and she said, I am unashamed and unapologetic. She started a movement called The Body Is Not an Apology to cultivate radical self-love and body empowerment. After her Facebook post, millions of people began sharing photos of their imperfect bodies, shaped by differences in age and race and size and gender and class and religion and disability and sexual orientation. Millions of people across the world did this. They were willing to exist unapologetically for that one moment and to celebrate each other. I love that she created this movement. Think about your own life for a moment. Think about your body and how you feel about your own body. Think about all the times when you have apologized for your body. and all the different ways that you've apologized. Anytime that you have felt ashamed of your body, anytime you have felt embarrassed about some aspect of your body, anytime you have tried to hide your body in some way, you have apologized for it. We apologize for being tired. We apologize for not being able to make it up a flight of stairs in the way we used to. We apologize that we have a little more weight than we used to. We apologize that we're not dressed up enough, or our hair's not done, or we're not clean shaven. We may not say it outright, I'm sorry. I think women say that more than men. We may not actually say it, but in some way, we are dismissing our body. We are criticizing it. And again, it happens so fast. We're not even aware often of when that happens. Sonia Renee Taylor said, "Are there scenarios in life when you ought to apologize? Sure. Apologize for being late. Apologize for making an insensitive, careless joke. Apologize for procrastinating and inconveniencing your colleagues at work. Go right ahead. But the only apology you need to make about your body is this one. Body, I'm sorry I've been cruel to you in the past. I pledge to you, I promise, that era is over. No more violence, no more hiding, no more apologies." So when we look at a part of our body and we reject it, and we say, yeah, this creepy skin, ugh. We see it as a flaw, or we see it and we make some comment or some gesture that indicates our distaste or disdain about some aspect of our being, we're saying that it shouldn't be this way, that it should be some other way, right? And the moment we do that, we're rejecting God. We're rejecting the divine. Now, the divine didn't put food in our mouth. It didn't say, eat this. We put food in our mouths. We choose whether or not we want to be in shape or not. But when we reject some aspect of ourselves, we are essentially saying, God, I don't like what you've created here. And we have separated ourselves from the divine in that moment. We have forgotten who we are in that moment. And whether that criticism is towards ourselves or someone else. We have forgotten that they too are God. So what if we look at that aspect of our body, whatever that is, and we see it through the eyes of God? We would not be able to look at ourselves the same way, would we? Or someone else in the same way. Now, there may still be things we want to change, and that's okay. But when we shout no at it, we can't really transform it in the same way. If we look at it through the lens of God, through the lens of the divine, now we have something to work with. Now we can make a change from a more empowered place than saying, this is wrong and I don't like this. So let's just close our eyes for a moment and tune in to that divine creator that is within you. Whatever name you want to call that, God, divine creator, divine intelligence, divine essence of all that is. What would you say about me and my body right now? What message do you have for me and my body? And just receive whatever comes through as you tune in and ask that question. What message do you have for me, Divine Creator, about my body? Rupi Kaur said, the universe took its time on you, crafted you precisely so you could offer the world something distinct from everyone else. So when you doubt how you were created, you doubt an energy greater than us both. The journey of self-love is a journey. It's not as if we love ourselves and embrace every aspect of our being and we're done. It's a lifelong journey, right? And so if we can look at an aspect of our body that we are unhappy with, and we can say to it, I love you. I love you. If you have an illness in your body, say, I love you. If you have pain in your body, say, I love you. If there's an aspect of your being that you are not okay with, say, I love you. What if we could look into the mirror and say, looking into our eyes, I love you? That's a hard thing to do, isn't it? Louise Hay talks about mirror work. She's big on that if you know about her work. And she said, if you have a hard time saying I love you when you look into your eyes in the mirror, then say, Leah, I'm learning to love you. I'm learning to love you. When I first started doing this, it was so awkward and uncomfortable. I wanted to just run out of the bathroom. All I could notice was my wrinkles and the flaws and all the things. But after doing it after a while, wow, Leah, I love you. I have it written up on my bathroom mirror. Leah, I love you. We all need those reminders, you know? So, despite doing the work, there are still days when I don't accept and love my body. I'm human, but I'm committed to continuing to be kind towards my body. We're all it's like the kids that teased us when we were kids, when we were little. How often do we put down ourselves and our bodies? We can be so cruel to ourselves. So let's make a declaration to ourselves. In the words of Sonia Renee Taylor, repeat after me. Body.
Body.
I'm sorry I've been cruel to you in the past.
I'm sorry I've been cruel to you in the past.
I pledge to you.
I pledge to you.
I promise that era is over.
I promise that era is over.
No more violence.
No more violence.
No more hiding.
No more hiding.
And no more apologies.
And no more apologies.
Nahira Waheed said, and I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this. So let's choose to be friends with our bodies. Let's choose to make peace with our bodies and see our bodies the way God sees our bodies. Let's practice seeing God in all of our flaws, whatever those may be. I'm going to ask Jimmy and Julie to come up, and they're going to sing a song most of you should be familiar with called You Are the Face of God. And what I want you to do is place your hands on your heart. And as they sing this first verse, you're going to sing it to yourself. So just sing it to your body, sing it to you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Find the eyes of someone here and look into their eyes, and you're going to sing this to them.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
And now once again, singing it to yourself.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
So as you go out this week, see if you can practice, whether it's an hour, it's a day, or a week, practice not apologizing for your body, loving your being, your body. And every time you notice yourself criticizing some aspect of your being or criticizing someone else's body, take a breath. You let go of the shame and the judgment, you let it go. And you say to yourself, I choose to see my body in a new way. I choose to see my body in a new way. I choose to see myself and others as God does. I choose to see myself and others as God does. Let's pray. And so I know in this moment, we recognize that divine essence of God that lives and breathes as us. We connect with that essence and that life and that love. As we walk through the world, I am knowing that we are walking through the world in a different way. That we honor our bodies, that we send love to our bodies, that we are able to look through the lens of the divine when we look at ourselves and when we look at others. I am knowing that we are developing a new relationship with our bodies and shifting our perception, starting right now. That we are able to open our eyes in a new way and see ourselves the way God does. And so giving thanks for this knowing, giving thanks for remembering that we are that divine essence. That we are indeed the face of God, and everyone we come into contact with is the face of God. And so with gratitude for this knowing and for this truth, we release this, we allow it to be, and we trust what is unfolding for our lives. Knowing we are exactly where we need to be, receiving exactly what we need to be receiving for our growth, our evolution, and our expansion as a soul on this earthly plane. And so with that, we simply say, and so it is.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
We are supported entirely by the generosity of our community, and we give thanks for all that you give to this beloved community of ours. A basket is being passed around, and so if you can place your energy, your heart, your love into that basket, we'll take money too. So let's say together, Spirit's abundance flows through me.
Spirit's abundance flows through me.
Joyfully,
Joyfully,
I share my good.
I share my good.
Thank you all.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day's done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. New dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Beautiful job. So as we close out our service, say goodbye to those online, and we're going to move into a little bit of discussion in the room here. We have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to say our benedictions. Just receive these words. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed, and may you be a source of healing for all beings. And so it is.
So it is.
So I have some body questions.